Welcome back to RunThrough TV. I am Ben Shepherd, and this week I was going to bring you the 5 best bodyweight exercises for runners. But here's the excuse: I broke my little toe hoovering. I'll prove it to you if you want. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I'm not that sick. I wouldn't actually do that to you. So I can't do it this week, but I have enlisted the help of a fellow runner and a very good friend of mine. His name is Jake Lowe. He is a running coach, he is a podcaster, and he is an all-round good guy, and he is going to help us out with the 5 best bodyweight exercises for runners.
Thanks, Ben. Here are my top 5 bodyweight exercises for runners of all levels of ability. I'm going to take you through each individual exercise, show you the technique, and importantly, I'm going to show you some regressions as well, so that way it can be for all levels of runners, which is really important. So ways of scaling back those movements.
Number 1. This is a standing crawl. Jake, take it away, mate.
Now, this is one of my favorites. You start with your feet shoulder width apart. It's designed to really work the core. There's a lot of balance involved here, but if you think about it, we need good balance and stability when we run, because effectively we run on one leg. So we start with our hands in this position, we engage our core, squeeze those glutes so they're nice and strong, and then we bring the elbow down to the knee. Whoop, wobbly wobbly, and then back, return, and then the opposite side. Now you can probably see my ankle doing this as it adjusts and tries to give me that stability that I need. But I'm sticking, I'm not doing this. Okay, so we start in this position, we bring the elbow down to the knee, we make that position stick just for a moment, and then back, down, and then back. Really have to concentrate. Now, in terms of making this slightly easier, you can shorten the range. So simply just go to there and back. So very small. So you're actually spending slightly less time on one leg. But when you've got the ability, you just need to try and bring that elbow all the way down to the knee and alternate each side. Oh, you might find you've got a stronger and a weaker side as well, which is perfectly normal. So that is standing crawls.
Number 2. This one's called skater squats.
So first of all, make sure you've got good contact with the ground, spread the toes so you've got as much surface area in contact with the ground as possible. We start in a running position, and then effectively you drive the leg back, graze the floor, and you go into a skater squat position, and then you return. So from the front, feet shoulder width, I'm making sure my hip is in line with my knee, in line with my second toe if we're getting really fussy. I'm engaging my glute first of all, get into that running stance, trying not to shift the hips too much, and then we go straight in, looking down, keeping my head neutral and back up, engaging the core, so we're nice and flat with that back, and we drive backwards and back up, keeping nice running action with those arms. Now, in terms of making this a little bit easier, of course you can shorten the range so you don't drive back quite as far, but importantly, what can really help is if you just kiss the floor a little bit with the leg that's in the air. So I'll show you how that looks. So if you're in this position, once you've gone down into that skater squat, you might come back fairly quickly and just tap the floor. Rather than staying off the floor completely, which is involving more stability, and obviously that's tricky, you can just down, come back up to neutral, give yourself a moment, reset. We go again, straight in. There's a bit of coordination involved as well. And remember, to run well, you've got to coordinate your arms and your legs, so that's very important.
Number 3, this is a single leg kneel into a lunge. Catchy name.
For this, we take it to the floor. That's the starting position with shoulder width. A lot of stability involved in all of these exercises actually, and this is no different. Primarily, at the start, we're working a quadricep on the right leg in my case, and the glute. And you push through the floor, chest up, so you push through the floor, and then you take it straight into a side lunge. So my inside knee is locked, it's pulling a little bit on the inside thigh there, so getting some range of movement. I'm bending my knee, my ankle, and my hip, my back straight. And then I push back with my left leg into that balance and back down. So again, through the floor with the right leg, into a balance, into that side lunge, come back, and then back down. There are ways that you can regress this, so, because it's like 2 exercises in one, this, which is great, gives you more bang for your buck. So you drive through the floor, you go into that side lunge, from there you push back, but this time allow the foot just to come to the floor so you can balance. It just gives you a moment to reflect, find your balance, center yourself, what's happening, then you can take it back down to that kneel. And it's just a slight regression of the exercise. So straight up, into that movement, we come back, little tap on the floor, then back down. And once you've done as many reps as you want to on one side, you obviously go to the other side. But that single leg kneel into a side lunge, I think you're gonna love it.
Number 4, we got a kneeling Superman. Back to you, Jake.
And this is one of my favorites. Yes, I've got many of them. This is a fundamental running based bodyweight exercise. So we start off on our knees and our hands in this position. Now, before we do anything, it's really key that the hands are directly under the shoulder and the knees are directly under the hip. That's really important. And then we're not flimsy, we've got a brace. So push with the arms, draw the belly button in, squeeze the glutes, so get some tension going throughout the body. Keep the head down, and then we reach with one arm, and at the same time, it's the opposite leg goes out. It looks like this. So we reach, and the opposite leg goes out, and then we bring it back. It's not a fast movement. Nice and strong in that core. Oh, come on, Jake. You can do this. All the way out, straight arm, straight leg, slowly back. Now, when you switch, when you bring your hand back and your knee back, and you go for the other side, you should feel the weight shift in the hips. But what I don't want you to do is rotate. You've got to be strong in that core. So as soon as I reach, I then bring it back, and as I make that transition between sides, I really jam that core in so that I don't move the hips. Because if you think about it, when you run, you don't want sloppy hips. You don't want lots of movement in the hips at all. You just want your limbs, your arms and your legs to do the work. All the way out, all the way back. Sometimes it can help if you imagine having a couple of glasses of water on your upper back and your lower back, and you try not to spill them. It just enables you to, or encourages you to keep a really flat back. But that's kneeling Superman. It's one of my favorite exercises, and that's number 4.
And number 5, everyone's favorite core exercise. This is a dead bug.
To the floor. This time, I want your hips below your knees, so opposite to the previous exercise, and the arms up. This is called dead bugs. I mean, come on. We all know this is exactly what a dead bug looks like, right? So from there, belly button in, really engage that core. Take one arm out and one leg. Opposite, very important. Bring them back smoothly, and then we switch. Bring them back. This is actually, although it looks very simple, it's probably one of the most challenging exercises of the 5. Because as you take your arm and your leg out, my back wants to do this. My hips want to twist because it's a lot of strain on the core. So you've got to make sure you really engage here. Now, what you can do to regress this movement, make it slightly easier, because effectively your arms and legs are the weights, you can shorten the range. So that's less stressful on my core. If I was to do that, that's less stressful than if I take my arm and my leg all the way out. And while it's good to be ambitious and want to improve, as many runners do, it's also important, even more important, that you maintain good technique and stay within your limits. So belly button in, out we go. I can feel my back wants to arch, and I'm trying to prevent that from happening. Nice and strong, and we alternate. And that is dead bugs, which concludes Jake's top 5 bodyweight exercises for all levels of runners. I can't wait to hear how you get on.
Big thank you to Jake for doing that for us this week. He's an absolute legend. And once again, do go and check out his podcast. It is called Running with Jake, the podcast. Please do give this video a thumbs up also, and subscribe to RunThrough TV, and I will catch you soon.